Hey guys, so it is Drew Kristan. Um, Today wanted to make a video to motivate or inspire anyone who feel down, who's afraid of change, and who sometimes just get discouraged. Like sometimes we feel like we're not doing enough. We feel like we're a certain age, so it's like we have to have certain things laid out. Sometimes we feel like, yeah, like we ain't doing nothing much in life, you know what I mean? So there's something what happened to me yesterday. So sometimes when I go through Instagram, I could look at people's Instagram feed. I could look at their story, their videos, and sometimes it make me feel that they are more of ahead of me in life in ways. And when I get in that mindset, it kind of sort of make me feel discouraged, like I ain't doing nothing much, I ain't doing nothing with my life. And then I started to have like this depressed feeling, like mother freeze right, I could have been doing so much more. Like what I doing, like what am I doing? So what I try to do when I get in that mindset, because all of us, that's a natural feeling, and it's not envying. Sometimes negative self-thoughts just come to us, and then it just cloud everything, and then we don't think on the things that we actually did accomplish or what we doing or where we came from. So this is something I normally will do to help me get through that feeling within itself. Now, this right here is my journal. um So I journal a lot of my thoughts and feelings. When I'm going through something, I journal it. And what this bad boy do is when I feeling discouraged, I go and I read my journal. And I write a lot of things what I overcome. I write a lot of things with what I grow from. So when I feeling discouraged, what I normally would do is, I feel like I sitting bad. Okay. So kind of sort of the same. Anyways, whatever. So yeah, so with my journal, when I feeling depressed or just feeling low in any way, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, I would read my journal, and then my past thoughts will actually help me. And when I say my past thoughts, I write down how I feel. So yesterday I felt discouraged because I was on Instagram and I just was looking at people Instagram, and it was a few people I came across and it was like, what a freeze, right? Look like they're doing so good and they got themselves, together and whatever, and me and them probably in set, or they younger than me or they older than me, and it just made me feel discouraged within itself. And what I learned is we have to snap out of that feeling, because if you actually keep thinking about it, you could dwell in it, and then you would ruin your whole day, evening, morning, just because you feel less than. And then, like a lot of people say, I think a famous writer, someone said, I think it's along these lines, comparison is a thief of joy. I think that's the right words. You could Google it. So comparing yourself, it actually could kill you instead of lifting you up. So this is something I did last night, what I read over, just to make me feel good, to make me feel like, Drew, like you did a lot and you still doing and you growing in so much ways. Like you might see these people posting, but you don't know what they're going through, because people don't post what they actually going through. They only post what they good moments. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you this so this could encourage you. And when you going through something, you actually will, do this exercise so you can know that you dope. Like the sun and the moon shine, they just shine in different timings, and you dope. You don't have to compare yourself. So reading a book, okay, this come from a book I was reading. The book, it name The Difference Maker by John C. Maxwell. And if you wanna watch my book review, you could click my link on my Instagram, or you could go to my YouTube channel, Drew Kristan, and then you will see the book review the book review I did with it. So The chapter he talked about was problems, and it's page 119. Yeah. So the exercise was take 1 or 2 minutes to make a list of the top 10 things you've done in your life about which you are most proud of. So this was his assignment to the reader, me, and when you read it, you. And he just was like, write 10 things which what you've done would make you most proud. And I didn't write 10, but I write 8. And then I'm gonna say the 8, probably 7 of them, and then explain it to you. So number 1, I have jump, and hashtag 2015. So let me explain jump. When I was about 18, 19, I was working at a cafe, and I hated the cafe. Like, I wanted to quit so bad to do nails full time. But a lot of people were saying nails don't make no money. A lot of people said that don't make no sense. My mom was like, baby, you have bills to pay. You can't be quitting your job. Like, what you could do? You don't have no clientele. It's like, how could you? And in the midst of everyone telling me that, like everyone telling me these negative things, I jump, I quit with $200 in my bank account, and yeah, I left the job because I was so tired of it, you know. And after I left the job, a month later, I started to work with a lady, as a nail technician. Whatever I made, she got 50% out of it. So I was working on commission base. And I remember it was 3 months into that. And then I think it was October. It was Bryland Regatta. So for y'all who don't know, I'm from the Bahamas. And we have 700 islands and keys. And one of the islands is Eleuthera. And one of the keys from Eleuthera is Bryland. I think I'm right. But if I'm not right, you could forgive me, please. I didn't like social studies that much. So, you know. So you could Google the Bahamas and the Keys and see how far Eleuthera is from Bryland. Anyway, so it was that October, and I went to Bryland Regatta and do nails. And again, I was working with this lady, 50-50. At the beginning of it, I wasn't making no money because I didn't have any clientele. But after that, I just continued to practice. And I went, one of my sisters live in Eleuthera, and I remember she was doing her, and she was like, you could come over here, you can make some money. And cut the long story short, in one day, I make $300. So making this $300 in one day, I didn't feel so hype. I was like, I make $300 in one day, and I had to give no one 50% of my hard-earned working money. So I called a lady, and I was like, lady, I have to rent a booth now. Like, we can't do this. This relationship have to stop, you know? And she was like, okay. So after talking to her and after telling her that, I was nervous because I'm like, okay, you made $300 in a day in Bryland. When you go back Nassau, things, like, it ain't gonna be like that, you know? But my first week, okay, I was scared of renting booth because I was like, no one might come patronize my business. No one, they'll be like, who she is, like, she could barely do nails. But that week, renting boot, I make $400 in 1 week renting boot. So the first one I had was jump. I was most proud of that because although people discouraged me, although I was tired, I actually take a risk on it. And one thing the book talk about too is sometimes we're afraid of the unknown, but everything was unknown to us at some point. So number 2, this year one of my biggest goals thus far was hosting my second event, which is Toast to Our Goals 2020. If you don't know what it, or if you want to see like a clip of it, you could go like Instagram or Facebook, Drew Kriston, and then you can look down, and then you can see all these girls in pajamas and stuff, and you can click it, and then you can see it. And then I have some reviews coming out from it, so you can stay in touch. Or you can follow at theblueprint.bah on Instagram. So number 2, Toast Our Goals 2020. Now, what really, why I'm really proud of this too is that 30 females believed in me, and I hosted an event, and they actually came. Like, they believe in me when I didn't even believe in myself. And they probably might not notice this was something big, because it was like what you have to give these girls that they spending their money to see you or come to you or support you. And it just made me feel like I like sometimes again we lower ourselves, but people cheering us on. Like people want to see us win, and it might not be who you want, and that might be that person who you really want to cheer you on, but you have people out there who literally turn you on. So I was most proud of that. And third was my vision board event in 2019. 25 people came and supported me with my loved ones, and then my friends who also supported me. And I was proud of that too, because that one was my first event, and I was scared. I was scared, but people still came. So the first one was Jump, the second one was Toast Our Goals, the third one was the vision board event, and the fourth one, okay, I'm gonna talk about the fourth one. The fifth one is reading books. Again, if you follow me on Instagram or my YouTube channel, you like listening to my book reviews or reading my posts. I inform a lot of my viewers and friends and family that I never like to read books. So this year, my goal was to read 3 books, and I ended up reading 6 books. So that really, 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 like, I'm really proud of that, because it's like I pushed myself to a different level. You know, like I always thought I couldn't read a book. And I'm proud of that, because again, I always felt like I was slow. I am a slow learner. Like I learn. Okay, if me and you having a conversation, I have to picture everything you say. If I'm not picturing what you say, if I don't have a clear picture in my head of what you say, you talking to yourself. That kind of going from one ass to the next, and that's just me, and that's how I learn. So if I'm reading a book and I don't understand a paragraph, I have to keep going over and over and over until I picture it and I actually understand it. That's why I call myself a slow learner. So reading books was number 4, because I skipped my actual number 4. Number 6 was changing my mindset. I'm proud of changing my mindset. Ever since in I think it was 2016, 17, someone introduced me to Les Brown. And ever since then, that changed my whole life. Like literally, I still listen to Les Brown every morning, whereas I could quote every word that comes out his mouth, you know. And I'm really proud of that, because what I was doing was I was planting a seed in me, not knowing. And it's like when I have conversation with people, it's like, damn, like where you get that from? You sound so wise. That's Les Brown, that's Lisa Nichols, that's Eric Thomas, that's Oprah. That's like a lot of people I literally listen to on a daily basis, and especially the books I read. Number 7 is healing from past trauma. So I don't know if I informed y'all. In 2019, I was battling a depression, and I didn't know until it was over. And I seek a therapist. I seek out to someone for help. And I learned that, well, one of my problems, I had a whole heap of problems. The biggest one was my insecurities. I talk about that a lot. Me battling insecurities, being a brown skin girl. And one would I heal from a lot, but one I could talk about now, healing from past trauma, is like me and my mommy and my sister never had a relationship. And I learned doing therapy that my mommy only could have given me what she got when she was young. Let me say it again. Our parents could only give us what they got when they was young, and some parents didn't get nothing much. And then we have to understand that our parents was once our age too, and look at us at the age of 23 or 24. Like we ain't got it together. Some people, you know, like my mommy had me probably when she was 23. She had my sister when she's like 19 or something like that. So she literally was winging it out, you know. And sometimes I'm like, mother freeze, like she could have do better, or you know, we could have been further. But I understand that she was young. She was a young adult, and she was winging it, and she really did good with what she had, you know. And then I started to accept people for them, because sometimes we have this thing whereas we want people to be who we want them to be, but we have to accept them for who they are, you know. And the last one, number 7, is sharing my story, what I'm doing now. I'm proud of this. I'm most proud of this because I always wanted to like tell my story or just be open, and recently I'm getting there slowly. And I like the fact that people could actually have a conversation with me and get something from it. You know, it's like they love to talk with me, like have conversations with me, because it's like they always learning something, or we always learning something. And then sharing my story, it's like I could help a lot of people who dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with, but just scared to say it. So yeah. Oh, and then at the ending, so my 7 things was jump, toast our goals, vision board, reading books, changing my mindset, healing from my past traumas, and share my stories. And then after that, he was like, now that you completed your list, I'm willing to bet you that your succeed came after you experience a problem or a challenge and self-doubt. So I'm telling you this. I'm opening up to you in my journal. And telling you this is because a lot of times we see people post on Instagram and we get discouraged because it seems like they're having their good life, and looking at them and make us feel like, what are we doing, especially in a pandemic? Like, what am I doing? Like, you cannot look and believe everything you see on Instagram. Literally, you can. And then at the end of the day, you have to remind yourself that what you actually accomplished, where you actually came from, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and for some people financially too. So you just can't look and just keep downing yourself like Mother Freeze aren't doing nothing. Like Mother Free is like, it's like my friend, um it was her birthday recently, and I don't know, I just had a thought. She in her 20s, still a little early 20s, right? And I don't know what, thinking about her and me knowing her, it's like she accomplished a lot. And I know sometimes we could be like, oh my gosh, I reached 26 and do this yet, or I haven't completed this yet. And I remember messaging her and I was like, hey baby, I know today's your birthday, but what I want you to do is actually take a cup of wine and sit down and just see what God brought you from. You know, like from getting your first house to completing university to going back to university to healing from your past to, like being an author to like helping other people. Like they stuff what people dreamed of doing, and some people, like, that's their achievement, like that's their level of success. And I say that because, like, in her instance, she might have been like, Mother Freeze, like self-doubt, like, Mother Freeze, right? I have so much I want to do and I only 25 years old, baby. You 25, want a house. You understand it? So, and this ain't me like praising, but it's like, look what you have. So don't think about the future. Actually celebrate and be happy with whatever you have right now. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. So I hope so. You find. I hope so you understanding what I'm saying. And sorry for my dialect. I honestly apologize for that. But yeah, like right now things you're accomplishing in life. And when them days come, them down days, because they're going to come, remind yourself and say, so baby, look what you did. Look what you did. And please don't be going on Instagram just looking at people's life, because Instagram literally just is a icon what we tap. Like it ain't real. I don't think it's real in ways. Well, I lie, it is real, but it's how people use a platform. Like some people just use it for picture wise, or nothing much, but some people use it to motivate and to inspire and to share their story so people will know that they ain't alone. So I hope that help you. The book is The Difference Maker. Like I said yesterday, I honestly started to feel bad after looking at some random female Instagram, and I started to like doubt myself, like, Mother Free is true, like this girl doing so much but you don't doing nothing with your life. Like, what's happening to y'all two probably in sad. But I had to correct myself and say, self, look what you accomplished, and you accomplished more than this, especially like mentally and spiritually and just self-development. Like 5 years ago, this was a different Drew. Like, this wasn't here. I mean, physically, I was here, getting a little thick, but I was more slim, not there. But anyways, my niece knocking. She trying to come inside. I hope so this encouraged someone. You can like, share, comment. You can let me know how you feel. And bye.